the Matastrophe. Mike, you have been found guilty of murdering kids with acid and are sentenced to shockingly good casting.
No, absolutely. I'm literally going to Gamescom in 20 minutes. There ain't no way, dude.
Cruella is guilty of being beautiful. Oh, thank you.
Oh, what? Simpus. Get over there.
Okay, Inspector Takeshi is back.
Okay.
Hi, Mike. Go catch a job application. Okay. Hi, Mike. Knuckles, $5. Hi, Mike. Joy-filled Takeshi here. Just wanted to let you know I do not have any honey in my home, sorry. So please, can you go on to the next house? Anonymous, $10. Hi, Mike. It's Judge Takeshi here. The jury has decided, and unfortunately, it's a death sentence in-game for animal cruelty.
I don't appear to have any form of defense. I'm noticing a very kangaroo court going on here. Like, I have apparently zero defense to anything.
Sorry. Xali's AK high resolution Takeshis. Hi, Mike. I got fired from my part in the Midnight Cinema. I got fired from my part in the Midnight Cinematic. Please give these Takeshis a home.
What was the full name?
Xali's
8K high resolution Tokeshis. Oh no. I can't believe they toe denied people. Unbelievable.
Takeshi. Investigator Takeshi is back. $10. Hi, Mike and Cruella. I just wanted to say that I lost my job after being bullied by police commissioner Preach Takeshi. I will have my revenge. Well, Hellfire Assault Takeshi.
What did you just say?
Hellfire Assault. It's the first boss of the Hellfire Citadel.
Oh!
Don't worry.
That's not what I heard with your accent then, actually.
Also, how do you pronounce it?
Hellfire Assault Takeshi.
Assault. That's what I said.
Yeah, it is what you said, but I heard something slightly different.
Oh no.
Yeah.
$5. Hi, Mike. Hellfire Assault Takeshi here. I need a job so I can afford more waves of ads for your weekly clear.
Oh, grim.
What is this word?
Tribbiani, like Joey Tribbiani from Friends.
Ah, Takeshi Tribbiani. How are you doing? Since losing my job at Dr. Drake Ramori, I heard Echo are recruiting washed-up doctors for casters. Can you hire me?
Oh, poor medic getting tossed under the bus. You're supposed to give it the voice, though, with the how you do. You're supposed to go, how you doing? Can you do it?
How are you doing?
Not bad. Not bad. Pretty good.
$50 from Forgiving Nero Takeshi. Dear Mike, take a good look at me. I forgive your sins. Love from Nero Takeshi.
Is that a picture? Oh.
I don't have enough energy. Not enough energy. I don't have enough energy. Not enough energy. Not ready yet. Can't do far away. I don't have enough energy. Not enough energy. Ready yet. That ability isn't ready yet. Can't do that yet. I don't have enough energy. That ability isn't ready yet. Not enough energy. I don't have enough energy. Not enough energy.
There we go. Maybe that's better. Thanks, man. Good call. It looks as if at least it looks as if it registered properly. Typical. Trying to remember to check everything works, and then there's always something that doesn't work. It was basically part of what I was talking about just like a few minutes ago. So just typical. Anyways, cheers. Cheers, cheers. So typical. It's the whole, there's like, I would say there's a lot of different things trying to remember, because then all of a sudden there are some settings you don't use when you're just sitting by your lonesome. So rocking a headset at other times will just, you know, with a mic, all of a sudden it's a different mic input, and so I don't use this mic, and then when I have to swap over I either forget or it didn't register, or yeah, typical. Anyways, how are you? Good seeing you. Long time ago. Long time no see. Guess that's wording. Come on. I'm currently trying to level up on my druid. Parked my chamois at level 40, sitting around waiting for another day. Right now trying to pursue Hecular's Rod. The rod really just is like the close to, if not the pinnacle of like longest stretch being in a single place. I think it's his, like, statistically been the case every time that it pretty much takes about an hour. No, not an hour. About a level. Spending an entire level here. Come on. Oh, it feels like it's been the case every time, roughly. Really has such a low drop chance. But it feels, at least it feels much more expeditious than it did on the chamois. Less downtime, which is nice. I mean, you end up feels like you oftentimes end up like measuring everything just in the downtime, because when downtime exceeds uptime, it's just uphill all the way. At least the feral is really coming into its own now with new abilities. But I have been surprised at, in general, for the druid at the moment, the amount of like misses and parries and things like that. It's feels like there's a lot. You know, I'm even with the normalization of the weapon used, it still feels very like obvious that there's a lot of them. So I've been trying to keep tabs on anything with hit, so I could put on maybe some hit rating. Hopefully that would help a bit. It's especially, I think, you know, you notice it when you're trying to build up combo points and you just have that feeling of missing all the time. It just becomes very, very obvious. And also, like, the stealth detection by the Yetis seems quite high. It might also be that I'm generally just... I'm trying to cut too close of an angle when I try to circle around them. So maybe I actually get too much in front of them, but... it's a thing. Oh well. First world problems. Ultimately, you know, we're entertained. What's not to like? Life is good. I get a chance to play. WoW. No complaints. Anyway, how is everybody? Hopefully you are doing well. I really need to get more back into the hang of this. It's been too long, definitely has. I've been super frustrated with having too little time to game in particular, but stream even more so. Just having the opportunity to stop by, you know, socialize. It sucks, really does. Come on with old misses. Well, at least, you know, it slowly but surely getting there. On the one hand, I have this sensation of, you know, progression is decent, making headway. The levels so far have felt pretty easy to come by. At the same time, it's remembering that it only becomes tougher the further we go. But again, back to the whole, if you're entertained, then what's not to like? So we move on. But it's definitely a crowded area in general. Or at least I've noticed that being here early morning, as I was when I was on, when was it, the day before yesterday, significantly easier, a lot less competition. But I figure there's both people who are here for the quests, but there's also people who are simply here because it's a decent grind spot. So that doesn't help, that's for sure. Dodge, dodge, miss. Is that a patrol coming? Gonna pull back. I've noticed the main inconvenience is that you know, all the abilities I use are bound to my keyboard, which means that in the event that I want to take a sip of coffee, I have to temporarily either you know, stop pushing buttons, or I have to start clicking with my mouse. You know, we're talking big issues here. Big issues. The inconvenience. I need like can you get like a coffee helmet? Something I can strap to my forehead, which just has like a straw or something. They have those camel bags, right, that the runners and athletes use, where they have like water supply strapped to their back or something, and just have like a easily accessible straw. Need that. Or like hang something from the ceiling. True optimization. Hey, Nair. Welcome. Thanks for stopping by. Pleasure to see you. How are you? Welcome to my humble surroundings. Just dropping in at work, so you pop on Discord. Don't tell Reactor. Yeah, I won't. Don't worry. Thanks for stopping by. Pleasure to see you. Nice stream. You guys very clean. Well, thank you. Actually, my biggest, you can say, my biggest frustration at the moment is that the current office space that I have is like a short-term solution, because it's in the old stable building that we have at the farm, and realistically I'm gonna be here for a few months, and it's, on the one hand, it's kind of, you know, it could really use an upgrade, but it doesn't make sense for something that might be changed within the next, I don't know, 4 to 6 months. So I'm trying to sort of get by without doing too much. Yeah, but it annoys me. Annoys me a little bit. I'm gonna have to look to put something on the walls, stuff like that. It really just, I mean, it feels like a basement almost. I guess it partially is. I like the wall decoration. Yeah, it's my daughters have you know, been given free range to just paint on the walls. I mean, how often as a kid do you actually get permission to paint on the walls? So this was like, okay, this room is temporary, so if you want to paint on the walls, paint on the walls. So yeah, they've been hard at work, and I think they really enjoyed it. Make the most of it. Exactly. Yeah, it's been good fun. So yeah, I was like, I was contemplating putting up like a replica Frostmourne on the other side, and a couple of disc plates. But then I've noticed what a replica Frostmourne costs. I was like, okay, that's not realistic just yet. You could have them painted like a living mural, adding stuff over to. Yeah. I mean, for sure, Sutella. I think it's definitely something along those lines. I mean, at least until we potentially renovate here. But until then, I think there's a like an open invitation to enhance at any given time if they want to. So let's see if it changes down the line. I think maybe I'll end up having like this side is reserved for my improvements, enhancements, whatever, and then they can do something on the other side. Fun for the whole family. Yeah, but I mean, it adds something. It adds some flavor. We also initially, the former owners, this was like a small workshop, so there was like workbenches all the way around the edge of the room, stuff like that. So once we sort of decided to use it as a temporary office space, we painted the walls in some different colors, like what did we have, some of the leftovers we had, and then yeah, they started just decorating the walls. So I'll have to give you a tour at some point, but yeah, it's cozy. It's cozy. The only thing is I need to hey, there we go, less than an eye level. So yeah, the only thing is that it's gonna get quite cold out here come winter, so I need to put in a door to the room, and then there's a heat source, so I can at least get by with that. There's just like a short deadline for when I need to have the door in place, but that should still be good for another maybe month or so. Yeah. Oh man. Nice with a cup of coffee. How is everybody? Long time no see. Hope you are all doing very well. It's a pleasure to be back. I really, it like consistently annoys me that the amount of time I've had recently has been so limited, because it's so far removed from the opportunity to stream, which is, you know, it's been such good entertainment for me, at least. I can't speak for how it's been for you, but yeah. So it's just completely annoying that it's been so long. Yeah, take care, man. See you later. Okay, yeah, catch you next time. So let's see here. So, oh, the councilmen. Oh yeah, they are over there. Yeah. At least I got travel form recently, which has been a pleasure. It's nice, even though... Yeah, I was actually just thinking about it 1 second ago, Sutella. Give me a second, I'll find it for you. I'm still missing more of the skulls. Forgot about that part. All of a sudden, the whole 30 skulls seems like a lot. I mean, I was here before, of course, as part of the quest line, killing off all the farmers, farmhands, and yet I managed to get all of 13 skulls. And is it 30 you need? So 13 doesn't feel like a whole lot all of a sudden. On the other hand, last time around I was only on level with them, and they are... I'd say I find them tough, because it's so hard to get them single-handedly. There's almost always the risk of chain pulling 2-3 of them, which you really don't want, especially because Druid felt a bit more squishy at that level still, so... Yeah, well, halfway. Wonderful. Let's see if we can find a few of those council members. Get that over with. I forgot that they were spellcasters, and then I ranged pulled. Okay, oh wow. Well, at least we can conclude that the whole chain pulling thing was true. Damn them. Let's go more slow approach. See what we can manage instead, in terms of trying to work our way in slowly but surely. Oh, cheers. I was trying to keep a little bit of tabs on how it's going with Race to World First as well, just because interesting to see how they progress. Although I haven't played retail in since 2008. Another councilman. Ouch. For the love of God. Fat fingers all the way around. Alrighty. We'll take our chances. Park here. Sorry about the ASMR coffee stream once again. It's like we wind up here every time. Hey, Dizzy, man, how's it going? Nice to see you. Pleasure that you stopped by. Yep. It feels like I say that often in terms of coffee streams. It's the inconvenience, honestly, of having to move the microphone further away from my mouth every time I try to take a sip. So instead, it's just like live with it. So how are you? We're competing for attention now here. Wow. All of a sudden the green drops are real. I'm good, thanks, Tarbert, okay? Yep. Same here, thank you. I've had a few nights where I've slept subpar, so it's like all of a sudden you feel like you're not quite yourself, but I guess that's what coffee's for, at least as a temporary solution. Where did he go? Did he go inside? Yep. It's insane how much more uptime you have simply by being 2. Right, it's really noticeable. Wow, that's a lot of people. Let's see if we can avoid pulling all of them. Nope. The ads interrupted. Yeah, sorry. Yep. No, I'm doing good, thanks. As I said, I've slept poorly for a few nights, but you know, such is life once in a while. Apart from that, I think I'm no complaints here. Come on. Need a bit more regeneration. Okay, there's something about a book. If I don't come, there's also somebody here. Okay, and then I can't even remember, is that, where is the, is that here? Nope. Where's the registry? Is it, it's insane that you can forget sometimes. Doesn't it spawn here? Loot the registry and burn the proclamation. Yeah, so we have to loot the registration. It's, I believe it's on the, gonna be on the table in a second here. Come on, respawn. Come on already. Sometimes some of these respawns are quite heavy. I mean, you wouldn't think that it was necessary to have them be so long, but yep. Ah, there we go. Maybe I was looking in all the wrong places. But, interrupted myself. Wow. There we go. All right, so at least we're basically didn't even manage to get this guy. Okay, back to turn mill, turn in. So, what are you working on, Dizzy? Anything in particular? Gearing, grinding, something else? Trying to farm? Okay. Current crystals. So just mining? Fresh 70? Yeah. Yeah, mining. Yeah, but I mean, need that too. Gotta get the job done. Boring hell? Yeah, exactly. It's a distinct difference, you know, when you're kind of caught in the fact that there's just nothing to do about it. But I think it's also the usual case of either you make money and then the first money you make you reinvest it in a faster amount because it should hopefully increase the speed with which you gather the next, but it still feels rough to start off by, you know, spending the money to improve and then starting over. That's how I feel, at least. Free PvP mount? Yeah. Are you working on the honor then? Oh, okay. That was not friendly gameplay. Managed to grab it before him. I think he was going for it, and then he got the aggro. Yeah, my bad. Try to get rank 11 so I can save my money for. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I can follow that. I made it. I managed. Moon and Mirror rank 7. Okay, nice. I made it to rank 8, and that was the extent of what I really ended up doing. And I've concluded that that's pretty much where I will stay. That was it for me. A short and inglorious career. I'll have to, well, no, I mean, honestly, I think I really try to assess also that it, for a lot of different reasons, it's not important enough because my intention is to swap main characters come TBC anyway. So the amount of time invested into it doesn't really pan out for a character that's not prioritized. And because I made it to 60 and at that point identified that I wasn't going to be maining that character going forward, I was like, then I would rather actually spend the time I have in leveling up some additional characters instead. So you can say on the few occasions where I'm actually playing on my hunter main, that's the price I pay. Slow mount, but less effort. So yeah, it's like I did like cost benefit analysis and came to the conclusion that this is what I'm comfortable with. So oh, whoops. What level are you now? I am level 31 on this character. And hey, great to see you, Spooky. I'm dabbling in so many different characters at the moment. nice. You know, I got the chamois to 40, and then I parked that. And then I decided to pick up the druid again, and then there's the dungeon character, which is currently, I think it's just a level 11, because Sith and I haven't managed to play recently. We'll have to resume that as well. So yeah, I'm all over the place. I'm not sure, you know, is it schizophrenia or is it alcoholic? Maybe it's one and the same when it comes to WoW characters. Yeah, no. So I think I've concluded that overall my main purpose between now and TBC is leveling additional characters, and then once the pre-patch for TBC opens, I'm rolling a Blood Elf, because that's the only paladin class there is. I'm rolling a Blood Elf Protection Paladin as a main character going into TBC. So utilizing it for future, dungeons, raids, what's not. So yeah, you can say right now I'm hoping that they would consider maybe rolling out the new classes or race combos, so we go full into TBC as again. I'm sure hoping so. It's my intention. I mean, we're gonna be here for a long time to come still. I think we have to conclude that looking back over the, what is it now? But making a Belf Hunter, yeah, then a Pella. I think I'm just waiting on that to happen. Yeah. Yeah, I can follow. Do we already know if Blizzard makes TBC era servers or do the anniversary service? I think for now we expect that the anniversary servers will continue similar to the last, you know, the initial classic servers, as far as I know. But we're gonna be going strong into TBC and hopefully into Wrath as well. I would love that. You know, but looking at the lifespan of the guild so far in the months we've been up and running, basically since launch, you know, we have a lot of players who are still here, which is fantastic. We have a lot of players who were here for a while, have dropped off. Some have come back, you know. So I think the guild will stand, and I will be here to offer, you know, a home to players new and old continuously. So let's see how things look. I mean, I'm super excited to go into TBC, because I can honestly say that I appreciate the concept of 10-man raids, because it's that much easier to gather enough members to do something. You know, 40-man especially was always a struggle, and 20 is just, yeah, no, it's fair enough. Right now I figure it's also in part simply because I haven't had the time, but 10 is just easy, flexible, easy to, you know, you can basically do a spur of the moment, yeah, filling 40s. So the concept of maybe, you know, you can basically just log on and say, hey, you know, can we find 9 people to do a raid, will help a lot in terms of creating opportunities. TBC and WoW are nice. I just hope they make TBC and Wrath of the Lich King era servers not continue. Yeah, good question. I'm not sure. Let's see what happens. You know, I think we don't know yet. But at the same time, looking at how things are looking with the present numbers for, you know, with the classic MoP, it's not looking good. So maybe they conclude on the fact that MoP and maybe even Kata is just stretching it too far. It would be easier to create a cycle that maybe goes through vanilla, TBC, Wrath, not sure, but yeah, it's a consideration, I think, because the numbers aren't looking super good for them. But yeah, let's see what happens. I mean, if we make it to Wrath, I know I'm gonna be here through that as well. If we get to Cataclysm, I would say I've never played Cataclysm yet. We can definitely roll 10 mans easy with the time comes. Yeah, yes, 20 will need fillers. But if we roll through Wrath, I'll definitely be here. If we make it, if the server then transitions into Cataclysm, I would consider it this time around, simply for the reason that I enjoy this guild and its members so much that I would stay for the community and sharing it. If majority of the existing community, or like the old timers that we have in our presence, if they are not there, then I would probably not stay either. And then I could only hope that we could rinse and repeat. So let's see. There's, I figure there's a lot of years yet before that becomes a thing. So let's see. I think we'll take it expansion by expansion. I think I'm struggling to get into one of the evenings because I'm solo playing. Oh, yeah. Yes. And then I kind of, yeah. Oh, that's rough. I do remember that. Definitely remember that. It's such a struggle, And I think, there's just some points during, parenthood, and especially while your kids are still small, young, that it quickly ends up being just day by day, Don't worry about tomorrow. Just make it through the day and then take it from there. I can see that now, especially looking back. I all of a sudden my kids are, coming of an age where you can start to really feel that you get some degree of, I would call it freedom. It's, I still prefer to spend the majority of my time at home, but they have an age now where it's not. In the early years when they're young, I've concluded, it's so much. It's physical parenting in the sense that it's logistics and it's hands-on. And then as time progresses, you move more into the phase where all of a sudden they don't need diapers changed. They can, grab something to eat by themselves, all these things. So you transition more into being like the spiritual guide. It becomes much more of a mental support instead of just a physical support, and it's worse in another way, because all of a sudden you also have to be really good at supporting them with everything from their identity to their sexuality, and I'm not sure I necessarily always feel comfortable with that, but yeah, I remember the early years. I remember what it was like when you weren't getting enough sleep and everything. And then now I can appreciate the fact that I know things get better. It happens all of a sudden, but it's such a struggle while you're in it. So yeah, it is a wild ride, and I wouldn't have wanted it any other way, even though I know what I'm in for. I think also as like a reflection on oneself, it's been the most insane learning experience, and I think you grow immensely as a person as well, just from what you have experienced through parenting. Okay, that was not good. I don't feel too many. Yeah, so no, I wouldn't have traded it for anything, but it definitely has its ups and downs. And the most insane thing is, I think that by now, the 18-year-old we have at home is probably the biggest cause for frustration, because some of the squabbling and some of the debating we have to go through is just mind-blowing. The insane thing is that they say it's completely normal, but she is at an age now where she believes she basically knows everything there's worth knowing, and she thinks that she has achieved the pinnacle of wisdom, And so it's impossible to have a conversation with her in which you try to show her something different, because her logic right now, based on like her frontal lobes, just says that, you know, I'm not correct in my statement, regardless of what it is. So it's like, but you came to me because you wanted help, and I provided you with input, and now you know, dispute my insight because it doesn't align with what you wanted to hear, right? And that's just like, okay, well, you know, I was about to say forget I asked, but you're the one who asked. So I've been practicing, because sometimes she'll also just, you know, she'll show up, she'll come home 9 in the evening, and, you know, she's been to school, she's been to work, and she's completely, you know, stressed out. And she's basically like just blowing off steam. And you go, and she starts whining. And I was like, well, you know, there's two things we can do right now. You get to choose. Would you rather that I simply comfort you, or would you like some input as to what I think you should do about it? Because then she can basically assess. And 9 out of 10 times it's like, you know, just comfort me, because I know what you're going to say. You're going to say that I'm burning my candle at both ends. Yeah, exactly. Yes. But it's like, okay, fair enough. But, you know, then we're working on the whole comforter solution. Yeah, exactly. Same. But it's like, I don't always appreciate you simply coming home and then just venting, you know? So it's kind of hard to be the one who has to pick her up every day. So it's also a process in like, but we can't keep revisiting this specific place every other day. So yep. Welcome to Parenthood 101. Yep. But at the same time, again, it's such a tremendous amount of learning as well in, you know, people and everything included in that. I'm not sure if it's a girl thing, but I knew we can rehash something. Yeah, yes, definitely. I say my sister has 3 boys and we have 3 girls, so we have a super good comparison on like a 1-to-1, just different gender, and the differences between the two is insane. It is. And I wouldn't trade my girls for anything in the world, but even less so when I know what my nephews are like. The amount of energy that they have is, yeah, mind-blowing. I can appreciate the fact that we can see each other and then they go home, because I'm just tired in a completely different manner. I've seen that even from a young age when a little boy. Yeah, it's I'm not sure how my sister copes, especially now that she's a single mom with like 2 energy bundles who just, you know, go from morning till evening. But so what's up with you, Spooky? Is it simply because that your husband works odd hours, or? Constantly trying to save your 2.5-year-old from climbing things and jumping off high things. Yeah. Yes. We had when the middle child, when she was about 2.5, maybe 3. Boyfriend doctor in hospital, long shifts away from his... yeah. Yes. Okay. Yeah. It's tough. It definitely is. But I think when our middle one was somewhere between 2.5 and 3 years old, she also was running back and forth on the couch. And it was the classical, you know, don't run on the couch, you're gonna fall down. And of course, at some point she stumbles, just face plants directly into the end table, and just, you know, cracked her eyebrow. So we had the pleasure of spending the afternoon in the emergency room. Thankfully, it's in the middle of the eyebrow, so it's fairly well concealed by now. But yep, it seems as if words have no real impact. Yep. Well, I know. I think a few scars are good for you. You know, sometimes they give you a bit of appreciation for some things you should be mindful of. Tantrums are crazy right now. Yeah. Yes, I can imagine. I can imagine. And that's, you know, that's really hoping it's a phase. No. That's, you know, I don't think you're taking over anything here. I mean, that's kind of what I enjoy about it, being able to share and support, vent maybe. I think it's, you know, I think it's good to talk about it. We had some friends over on the weekend, and we all have kids along the same age, and we actually ended up having like an hour-long conversation after, like, you know, after that half a bottle too much, where we started venting back, just like sharing frustrations, and the conclusion is, regardless of what you're experiencing and regardless of what you're currently facing, it's nothing uncommon. Everybody has experienced it before, you know, and I think that's reassuring. It's like, okay, there's absolutely nothing wrong with my kids. They simply have the age where this is a thing, and then it passes, but hey, it gets replaced by something else. Yeah. And I'm actually, it's actually really reassuring, yet that I'm like, okay, I don't have to put a label on it. They don't have any sort of undiscovered diagnosis necessarily. They're just human beings, you know, young people evolving. Nothing on the top floor is working accurately at this point in time. So all those things are just like, okay, you know, it's a phase. Next phase will include something else, you know, and I reckon that grown-ups go through some of the same anyway. So it's just part of human evolution. So yeah, and I reckon we always live and learn continuously. Okay. Oh yeah, I hate these guys. Dalrun. All here for the first time. Yeah, no, exactly. It's just life. Life and so much of it. Make me want to level in Hillsbrad. It's funny because there are some Somes that I have a big aversion towards, and Hillsbrad is actually one of them. At the same time, I try to do a good, like, mental exercise of telling myself that, you know, I'm only making it worse for myself by thinking that way. So instead I should simply just accept and be like, you know, this is also a phase, right? So you're here for a level, maybe 2, and then you move on. And then at some point you come back, but you have to revisit the zone again the next time you level a new character. So instead of putting yourself in a situation where you are thinking it's gonna be a struggle even before you started, it's easier to just sort of accept it and say, oh well, you know. I would say even that managing to hang out with you guys while doing it only makes it easier, because you can take your mind slightly off what you're actually doing instead. So pretty zone, yeah. There's a lot of the zones that I, you know, really appreciate for the cinematic view and everything. These guys hit like a truck. Die already. Come on. Ouch! Okay, I forgot to pay close enough attention. The HOTS didn't tick quite as enough as I... didn't tick quite enough. I was looking at my health bar going, you know, the HOTS are still rolling. They'll start correcting themselves in a second. That was not the case. Oh well. The struggles are real. But they do hit like a freight train. They really do. Welcome to the Ghost Walking special. That's getting your ass kicked. So you make it through one, you know, you make it through one area and then you just stumble across another. You survive one set of mobs and then you just wipe to the other instead. Yeah, but no, they are. I figure I could probably say that about all of them, but this is another one of those mob types that really is just annoying. Really are. Just one of those where the damage they deal versus the damage they take, just, you know that it's not in your favor even before you get started. So, anywho, so yeah, you're re-rolling as well for. Yeah, sure thing. Just leave me here. We made it back. At least we got a token for our casualty. Well, we got the one. I reckon this is one of those areas where you would rather pull them back a bit just to make sure you don't get a second one, because they just are so tough. Ouch. Ouch. Stealth detection is a thing. Come on. Parry. At least the spellcasters are a bit easier. What happened here? Oh. Yeah, they really are. In my I think if I'm coming back, if I can be reincarnated in the game, I think I want to be a shield guard. I think that's the ultimate thing to strive for, like the best NPC class, maybe. I wonder why my UI is not actually displaying it. Because unit frames, target buffs. When you were doing the quest, the warrior asked for your help as he was killing instead of fighting them. Yeah, nasty reflect damage. Yeah, I wonder why the wonder why their buff is not showing up on the unit frames. I have to watch for the animation instead, I guess, and then like. Yeah, that's the way to go. That helped a lot. So I'll just have to remember that with the speed of my attack speed at the moment, I'll kill myself quicker than I kill them, so. Nasty little hobbitses. I hate it when they run. Welcome back. No, he's gonna pull everything inside, isn't he? Oh, he's gonna pull everything on the other side instead. Thank God he didn't. Welcome back. Okay, so let's see here. As far as I remember, is it there's one more inside? Yeah, it's like there's two in. There's one in outside, one inside, and the other's in the other house. So we'll go. Oh, there's two here. Come on. Well done. Bit of wall walking. They're a bit better at this than I am when it comes to obstacles. Killing, yeah. It's unfortunate. It has to be done. It's nice that they're stationary when they actually activate that. That's sort of your fortunate circumstance. So, how's it been going? I mean, Sutel, I know you've been raiding at least. Dizzy, I reckon that based on what you said about being fresh, you're not there yet necessarily, but has there been any word on when Naxx is supposed to be released? Ouch, we got the... That was fortunate timing. Good time to get a level. Currently, a lot of vacations. I'm having a hard time filling 40 mans. Need everything right now to progress. Next is this one. Yeah, next probably sometime in October. If I have time and whilst you're in Hillspire, I might inquire about some help. Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. I would happily help. Worst case, I'll even bring another character if need be. But yeah. Ouch. They're quite good at doing the whole wall thing, huh? Bastards. And then all of a sudden you have an area here where we were just complaining about the frequency of respawns on the quest items before, and now all of a sudden we have a place where the respawns on some of the mobs is just maybe a bit high, in my opinion. I'm getting my mediocre gamer ass handed to me. And I don't like it. I forgot about that. Just like the summoning. At least the casters are easier to deal with. Did he manage to run outside as well? The hinge on my laptop is broken every time I open it. I think it's gonna... Yeah, oh. All of a sudden you have to be, like, super cautious. Okay, we're... there's two of them. I hope we can pull one without the other. Just for the hell of it. Nope. We pulled up the Kamenchi. Did he pulled a new one? Wow. Wow. Jesus. Okay. I think we have to do another. Come on. I've concluded that I'm really hateful of these guys. How is your dungeon set collection going? I'm thinking, trying to think. I mean, I have definitely still have a few pieces missing. I can't quite remember which ones. I have it written down somewhere, of course, but you can say I haven't even started trying to upgrade the dungeon set at all. I have played so little on the Hunter since, so yeah. I'm still a few pieces off from having the full dungeon set, and haven't begun even doing any upgrades to the dungeon set at all. So I saw your tremendous breakdown on the Discord with everything, like hard part is getting the first items. Okay. Okay, 2 tokens. We're getting there. Hang in there. Can figure out the upgrades in the future. Okay. So let's see here. So we're missing a few shield guards, or the equivalent thereof. Now all of a sudden this place is packed. Can I get lucky pulling only one of them? Nope. Ouch! I forgot, or I didn't notice the... He bloody well did it again. That would actually be a good time for him to pop it, so I can manage to... Give me a second, Spooky. Yep, I'm all done, so I can rendezvous with you. I'll come find you. Or where are we going? More, maybe that's more relevant. Where are we going? Danger's my middle name. All right then. Shadow buns. It's, you know, it's a good combination of something that's sufficiently dangerous and yet, you know, sort of takes some of the scare out of it, right? It's a way of luring people in. It's short, it's shadow, it's darkness, but it's also buns. So, you know, it's not necessarily 100% dangerous. You think, and then bam, you just get hit by. Yeah, for sure. But it's still up there. Buns of Shadow. Non-upgrade stuff has drop rate and you might need multiple. Yeah. Yes. I mean, you know, maybe, you know, some hot buns who wouldn't appreciate a freshly baked bun straight out of the oven. You don't know it's Shadow until you take the first bite, I reckon. Yeah. Yeah, good. I can follow you, Sotella, on that one. Yeah. Fresh carcass. Aye. Oh, 1 second. I'm gonna go and follow. I think somebody rang the doorbell. 1 second. Nope, wasn't. See you, Dizzy. Take care. Have a great day. Which quest was it, Spooky? Danger. Ah, you specifically said dangerous. No, it's fine. Don't worry. I've done it, but I don't mind doing it again. I just got the set for the looks and the cannon to see what the increased pet damage stats do. Yeah. Yeah, they're on the other side. It's they're a bit all over. Farmer Calaba is in here somewhere. In the middle of the orchard. All of a sudden, coming back here, like 6 levels later, you've all of a sudden feels over, like OP compared to the struggle of having been here last time around. Yeah. Yes. Redemption. Finally, you maybe come out on top. Hey, you managed to pull on. That's a feat in itself. Well, I mean, the easiest way to make sure we get all of them is just to stay here. Yeah, we get them all. Yeah. Yeah, well, there's nothing more with this small nibble. Okay, so... so let's see here. And then we have to go further to get some of the others. There's one at the farm at the north end. No, we just killed her. You just killed her. You even got that, yeah. Then we have to go up here. Well, you know, it's tough trying to eat humans and keep track of who you've killed at the same time, you know. Then there's, of course, you still probably need to kill. Also, there's one of the other quests, which is it like kill 15 farmers and farmhands or something like that. So we probably need to go back to the orchard afterwards, but we can go see if there's up there, up here. He's usually somewhere around here. You're on peasants, yeah. Well, you know, eat peasants first, and then work your way up. Can't remember if they effectively might be inside. Too much muscle, too little fat? Yeah. I mean, you can appreciate the fact that, you know, managing to find the right person to eat, you know, with a good, you know, muscle to fat ratio is tricky. You know, it takes some getting used to, you know, the perfect composition, especially just having to assess it visually. There we go. Nope, that wasn't the one. Yeah, trial and error, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I have lost count of how many humans I've eaten trying to find the perfect balance. So let's hear. So there's... Citizen Wilkes is the one who walks around here. Yeah. Oh, there we go. And then the clerk is inside the... Isn't he? I think he's inside the town hall. Yeah, and Hackett is at the farm, is at the mine, so he's not even at this place here. Alrighty, so he should be in here. Let's see if we can get these guys first. Yeah. I hate it. I hate it when the game fights back. I mean, I would have such a much easier time, you know, if the game didn't struggle so hard. You know, just I'm not asking for a win, you know, but just like, you know, an easier time. Not a serving on a silver platter, but close to it, you know. Wow. Okay, fall back. No, that's fine. Don't worry, just see if you can save yourself or something. There was actually quite a lot there. Wow. I'll consider if I can able to outrun some of them. Live to fight another day. I mean, the only real strategy is going in guns blazing, you know. Again, in a proper setting, they would simply all just have died by us looking at them, right? They're not behaving as it befitting for NPCs. One blazing, yeah. I mean, this is, this might as well have been the Wild West. Yeehaw! Well, yeah, nah, that's because I chickened out. Strategic retreat. Maybe I can reach your. You are welcome. Are you not Shadow at the moment, or? They're also stacked up heavily right here, as they're probably chained. Leveling is this? Okay, yeah, fair enough. I would imagine that Disc is probably the most challenging spec if you're doing solo stuff, at least. But again, it's good for groups and dungeons and all that. So. Well, because I think I'll disclaim quickly that my insight into Priest is fairly limited. But I think that, Disc, of course you get the good shields and all that, but either I think the most damage output is either from Shadow, which struggles a bit in the early levels, or it's Holy, because you could do like a smite spec. I don't know if it works as well in. Or did you remember? Do you have the quest for the book and the? There's the scroll here you need to click, and then there's the book in the corner. I'm not sure if that's part of the same. I think it is. Oh, it's part of the other. Maybe you have the... Okay, it's a follow-up then, maybe. I just know that later on, in later expansions, Holy was quite effective as leveling, because you could do like the smite build, but I'm not sure how it works just yet, so... Ooh, look. Okay, so you need more skulls probably, and more peasants, farmhands. So what do we need? Do we need more farmhands and such? Yep, that's fine. do that. I think that's important to take care of. Alrighty. See here. Got a text from Command Central. No. Don't worry. There's no... I'm not sure if you're... you coming back or... Not so. I ran on because I figured you were probably going to be busy for a while. But no need to apologize. I was actually doing like a small sparring session the other day with ChatGPT, trying to strategize some of the... yeah, do that. That's fine. I was trying to strategize a bit of like some of the... I was considering doing like a gimmick branding for the stream, trying to create an angle of, okay, so how do you separate yourself from just all the other streamers and create something that's a bit different? And the funny thing was that ChatGPT was like, okay, you should try to create attention around being a more and maybe like a more veteran, not a streamer, but a more veteran person, in the sense that you've gone through things that the majority of the streaming population has not, in the sense of being a full-time grown-up and having kids and everything. And he was the thought was that you should sort of embrace things like the normal everyday interruptions that take place due to family. So the concept was that you would excuse yourself every time you were interrupted by referencing that you had been you were off tanking the mini boss, which in this case would be like your kids mini boss encounter. I thought it was actually quite funny, just the concept of it. Like, instead of being prone to having excuses on some level for the same when when you try to sign up for a raid and that you're the one who's in charge of getting the kids to sleep, or like being the one to watch out for them while they sleep, that you're going to be in a situation where there's a risk you get called away, right? And so instead of finding yourself in a situation where it's just like inconvenience, then I can see the rationale in trying to make it into something fun, simply by by saying that you were off tanking the mini boss. Because we've all been there. I mean, we all, every single one. Who was it? It was talking to Vima at some point. He's an old work colleague of mine, actually, so we know each other. And he said that he had been doing a dungeon this is probably a few months back by now, but he had been doing a dungeon, for other random people late in the evening. And through the course of that one dungeon, every single person had to get up more than once, because there was either a child who woke up crying, or had trouble sleeping, something like that. So it's like, okay, well, this really is just common occurrence for the majority of us, especially by now, where the target audience for the anniversary servers is people who used to play back in the day. So we're all in a situation now where we've grown up enough to probably have family and obligations and all these things. So life, man, keeps getting in the way, taking precious time away from me gaming, man. How's your druid coming along, Sutella? You still stuck at some 40-ish? So while I remember, I'm just going to drop the... Here, let's see here. Level 44. Okay. Nah. I'll see if I can't pick you up when I get a little further. Maybe we can do some double druid action. I can really this is about a month ago because it was just before my vacation, but it was super enjoyable to be running just like the dungeon with the Sith. Just the concept of like socializing, sitting on voice was such a tremendous pick me up, and I think it was like it becomes effortless in a sense, because you're not necessarily focusing so much on what you're doing gameplay wise. It's more a case of, you know, some of it is intuitive. You're just trying to keep people alive. You don't have to use too much capacity to keep the dungeon rolling, but at the same time you can sit around talking, you know, catching up, all those things, which is really nice. Should become easier once it hits 50. Then it's just a few levels. Right now you're only halfway. Yeah, exactly. Is it level 42 or 44 that's basically the effective halfway marker? Oh yeah, I need to summon him as well. I keep forgetting it's two separate quests. 40, yeah, exactly. Frostmaw, did it drop off again? Excuse me. Time to go find a fresh carcass. Oh no, it's not when I'm okay. I'm really not paying enough attention here. I thought it was just another Yeti. Kick his ass, Leroy. Come on. Resist, resist, resist. Come on. Ugh. Jesus. Come on. Resist, dodge. Wow. I was actually unsure if I actually had the... if I would actually get it starting off on the wrong foot. Phew. Felt very touch and go for a while. But we made it. Ouch. Nah. It even says so in the top corner of the screen, and yet I didn't quite manage to elude it efficiently. I think actually that I'm going to spirit res here, and then I'm gonna park myself here for a second, just quickly go and grab some lunch, and then I'll be back in 5-10 minutes. So if you will excuse me just for a second, I'll be right back. Alrighty, we are back once again. I have returned. And I was missing a carcass. Okay, let's see if we can find a carcass. So... $30 seconds ago, decent timing. Oh yeah, by the way, I love your summarization of your professions, Sotella. I find it very enjoyable. Good little like wordplay, Virgin. Yeah. Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, wasn't that a movie at some point? Oh yeah, I don't need the carcass. Okay, wow. Okay, head back in the game. I managed to get Frostmaw. Yeah, okay, yeah, makes sense. Managed to get Frostmaw, so I basically just need to go into the Yeti cave and activate the brazier. Easy peasy. Most of the mobs are dead. Another miss, another parry. .0 landing. There we go. That's actually Not really keen on pulling all three at the same time. That was lucky. I forgot again. I forgot that I get pulled out of form when I do that. Okay. See if we can get out of here. Hey. Cool. That's a good starting stats. 1 for 1. 1 recruit, one post, one hit. Don't pull all the others. Alright. Still trying to figure out how it works. You scan for classes and put skilled people in list here at 10 ratios 1 goes okay. Okay. Yeah. Sounds like somewhat a tedious way in which the program works, but I mean, I guess it gets the job done. So this guide, this part of the guide becomes a bit hard to discern, because it seems as if there's basically two different ways in which you can achieve the objective, right? You can go talk to the henchmen, or you can kill them, these thieves and stuff. But it's like, it doesn't stipulate it accurately. Yeah, no, it does, yeah. It actually does, yeah. I didn't read it through. Alternatively kill to obtain, yeah. So I guess I could just go to the henchman instead. Then I don't have to spend time here, unknown amount of time here to get it. I'll go try the other one first, just for the hell of it, see how that goes. It's, I don't know if it's alarming or not, but considering the fact that this is the third time I'm leveling through this exact area, and both the other two times I've missed the fact that this was like a dual purpose objective, that you could basically solve it one way or the other. Goes to show how little you know. Henchman. Let's try this variation out. I don't think I've not done this one before.
You need something? For the line.
There you go. Thank you very much. That was easy. Of course it doesn't give quite as much XP, but can't get it all. Alrighty. At least it's time to hand in a good amount of quests. That's always nice. Feels good. Feels good when you just see like a massive amount of completion. And you get to clear out your bags a little bit. It's also nice. Go. Okay, let's see here.
Victory for Sylvanas.
Turning in, turning in, turning in. Cling, 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 cling. Except, oh, wrong place.
What now?
Humbert. There we go.
Blood and thunder.
Turning in quests, grabbing new quests. All kinds of crap here. Nah. Alrighty. I think I should empty out my bags as well. I'll just drop all this off. Clear out, make room. There we go. Oh yeah, this is all one of the tricky ones. Tough one. Oh, I'll repair just for the hell of it. See if I remember, isn't he over there? This is a tricky part. The one getting in and managing to click the quest before you just. Excuse me. Okay, let's see if we can manage. Maybe maybe what works best for this character is stealthing in, getting as close as possible, then popping out while on top of it, I reckon. Oh, no. Too close. Unless their stealth detection is actually so good that it's gotta be tough even getting close enough. Wow, they were quick as well. Go away! Okay, we'll try again. Moving at a more slow and leisurely pace. See how that goes instead. Okay, they're good. Ouch. 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 Why are they so quick? Okay, I did not expect them to be so OP. Die next to grave, course run, quickly grab. Yeah, I mean that's effectively what I'm working towards indirectly, just because. Excellent quest design. Yeah, they're like, how can we create something that's different? We'll simply create a situation in which you will strategize it by Is it not working? Let me double check here 1 second. Thank you. Okay, I'm not close enough, unfortunately, so I'll have to do it here. Actually, before my thought was I wanted to get a bit closer, and then I wanted to tag them, the guards, so I could simply see where they were. There's one there, that's why. I see you. Okay. Come creeping out of the shadows. Ah. Wow. I'm not sure how I'm still alive, but I didn't remember them taking aggro. Okay, well, we almost made it. Hey, Mumaji. Thanks for stopping by, man. Pleasure to have you pop by. Really, truly a pleasure. Oh, Agony. You're too kind. Thank you. Absolute pleasure. No doubt about it. I'm just appreciative that you guys are stopping by. Well, you're just in time for the corpse run. I think maybe I'm trying to think back. I think that maybe I did not die when I did it on my hunter because I managed to send my pet in. But other than that, I think that actually I have died on every single try of this specific quest because they just hit so hard, the damn guards. I mean, it's just sort of like a anticipated hazard of the job. Hunters has so much. Yeah, exactly. Or maybe it's a case of the pet has so much survivability. But, well, at least we live to fight another day, or we rest to fight another day. I guess it's more the case. It's funny, you know, having played the game since vanilla, and having only played vanilla, WoW, and TBC and Wrath expansions continuously for the past, 20 some years. Until Classic WoW came out, and I ended up until I started here and joined the and ended up buying the Rested XP add-on. I never knew this area was here. I'd never ever been here before. You know, which was kind of amusing. Like, okay, wow, there's actually an entire spot here that I've never seen before. Probably I'm planning to be here for another 2-3 hours, probably. That probably coincides with when the rest of the family comes home. We have excuse me, we're going we started, actually the whole family has signed up for a bouldering, so we go bouldering together, all of us, twice a week. So this afternoon, once everybody gets home, we're gonna grab some you know, snacks, and then we're gonna head off for an hour and a half of bouldering. So yeah. So probably fits with the fact that I can wait for everybody to come in the door, and then I can jump off and get ready. It's actually been super fun. We were looking for something to do as a family, because for the past few years it's been very much a case of me and my wife spending most afternoons driving the kids to all different kinds of like sports activities. You know, one attends dance and another attends gymnastics and so on, but we just felt like it was just like a logistics thing for us. And so during the summer vacation, while we were on holiday, we went to like a place where they have like this treetop climbing obstacle courses. So you basically get strapped in with like a harness, and you do these different routes through the canopies, you know, so you're strapped in, everything is safe and secure, and there's only like, it's a complete railroading, you're guided from one end to the other. But the kids had such a good time doing this whole climbing thing that they were like, oh, can you basically attend like climbing classes? And we couldn't find anything that was like being strapped in and like climbing around on a harness. So instead it was, we found that there was a local club not too far away where you could boulder instead. So we signed up as a family, and means we actually get to do some things together. It's been super enjoyable, and so different for everybody compared to previous experiences. So yeah, we've had a lot of fun with that. Yeah, do that. Well, if you make it, you know where I am. And if I don't see you here, yeah, no, so that's been super enjoyable. We really had a lot of fun with that. So yeah, I mean, it's the concept of doing something together as a family instead of everybody doing their own thing has been super positive. And we've also, you can say, there's a lot of opportunities to sort of you can say sharing each other's successes, because everybody's at a different stage in terms of what is easier, what is hard on like a wall when we're still so new to it. But every win is a small victory. So the concept of like taking turns, trying something that's tough, and everybody else is there cheering, and then there's a very good like social interaction. It's very much people who in general are very open and straightforward. So there's also a lot of opportunities to get a lot of help. If you're stuck on something, there's almost always somebody else who has a solution or a suggestion for what you could try. So I think that's really awesome that it's like not just everybody doing their own thing. So yeah, can recommend for sure. It's been super fun, and I will say it's also been insane how strenuous it's been. I mean, I've spent the first few weeks here. Basically, my forearms have been completely useless. I mean, I one day going home from practice, we stopped by the grocery store because we were low on milk, and even lifting a 2-pound, like 1 kilo milk out of the refrigerator, I needed 2 hands. My hands were so completely stressed out, overwhelmed from the physical exertion that I could barely lift it. It was insane. It's like, okay, I can feel it's getting better slowly but surely, but yeah, it's been a toughie, that's for sure. Okay, so elites. It's gonna be another toughie. Oh no, forgot the rifleman ranged. And here comes another. I'm gonna have to. I know for a fact that I don't want to pull more than one. Ouch. Bastards. Okay, I just now finished reading the entirety of the guide do not attempt this quest unless you're in a group of at least 4. I think we're in a position where we can conclude that even though it's me, myself, and I, that's only 3, so I'll probably just be moseying along to the next, please. There we go. Yep, that feels better, even now. So, yeah. On to Arathi it is. Arathi is another one of these zones I can't quite figure out how I feel about it, if I really enjoy it or if I actually think it's a pain. Maybe, on the one hand, it's one of those zones where it feels like some things are spread out so far apart that, you know, it just feels tough to go through. Oh, you spend a lot of time traveling. On the other hand, I think it's generally can I actually survive this? Okay, no problem. On the other hand, it's it's a scenic area, so quite decent. Foggy weather. Not a fan of Arathi, although I imagine the lore's cool. I like how the crossover. Yeah. Can you give me a roll? Yeah, sure. Spy. 1 second. Good that you asked. One second here. There you go. I hope it's sorted now. Yep, try now. Yeah. I think the it's yeah, I'm undecided. I think I'm like a 50-50 in terms of how I feel about it. I'll have to settle for a conclusion on a 50-50 at the moment. Wonder when the next stop by a capital city is. It's because I do have Ferocious Bite, especially would be great to get soon, but following the guide implicitly is just like, okay, I'm not sure when I'm gonna be visiting capital city next, so I'll wait. Another dodge. Another miss. Come on, parry. So it was actually, has anybody keeping tabs on how the Race to Wolf first is going? I'm trying to keep somewhat tabs. It was reset day to day, so they've had to re-clear. So there's a Questy has one bugged quest, the one you see on the tooltip crystal in the mountain. It basically shows on every mob, I think from level 1 onwards. On like it can basically drop from any mob in the entire game, it seems. And I'm not even on the quest, which is even more impressive, so buggy. Alrighty. Shift click quest on map. Should ask if you want to hide it. The crystal thing. Shift click quests on the map. Are you talking about in here? In the quest log? I thought you seen the I am, but the thing is I'm not okay. So is it effectively is it essentially an item that could drop that begins a quest? Is that it? Because then, you know, it might actually be that it's not incorrect that it's showing. It's just me who keeps seeing it everywhere and hasn't thought about why. I just thought it was basically a bug because it seemed like it was on every mob, but maybe it's not specifically. It depends on... Okay, yeah. So it's like a conditional on the item dropping. I mean, what do I know? I just play the game. I don't know anything about it. The item that starts the quest. Okay, yeah, fair enough. Then I guess I'm the one who's buggy and not the game. I'll try killing a troll for good measure and seeing if it drops. I expect a 100% drop chance. Miss, parry, dodge. Parry, yeah. Well, it's just saying if you don't want to see it, you can hide it. Yeah, fair enough. I don't pay enough attention to it per se. It's just I noticed that it was there. I'm like, what? I thought it was a bug on some level. Come on, down already. I reckon I might as well start moving inside because that's where all the 0.2%. Okay, yeah. Maybe that's why I keep seeing it, because I never get it. Never will. It'll just be haunting me forever. Oh, for the love of God, come on with all the blocks and parries and everything. You never got it? No. I think I will. I'm gonna see if I can manage to buff up. Yes, we made it. It's one of these situations where I don't believe I have the right to entitle myself as a streamer to the extent where I can utilize the streamer luck that people sometimes talk about. And I don't think it works that way. I think it's based on like seniority. You can't just open up the stream and then expect to have the perks of streamer luck. They're very observant. Huh? I need like the stealth boots or something. Sneaky, sneaky. Nope. Alrighty. Oh, halfway there. It's probably not worth me trying to sneak up on them anyway. Not really. Ouch. Come on. Okay. Surprised they never made ogres playable. Yeah. They gave you the Gordok suit. They probably figured that that was sufficient. Another miss. Another miss. I mean, you know, so the game, we've had the... with all the iterations of the game so far, let's say leading up until retail, I'm actually wondering if there was a consideration for a certain class that people still generally feel is lacking or missing, you know? Like, is there something that the community still considers to have been a class that would have been awesome to add but isn't there? You know, I mean, you saw keeping tabs on the new Diablo. The latest news is that there's another of the previously very utilized classes that's being introduced. So it just sort of came to me. I wonder if there's actually something that people have felt was missing from a while that still hasn't been seen. Oh yeah, is there actually? I can't even remember. Is it let's see here. We'll have to find out in a second. I just sort of remembered. I was wondering if... No, these are all at the farm. Yeah, they're not inside the cave. Would have been a shame to make my way all the way out of the cave and then have to come back to kill one of the named bosses. But this is all at the next place, as far as I remember. Yeah. That's nice. What? Melee mage would be cool, or hunter that utilizes spells more like where you had more of a magical range. Yeah. 185? Jesus. I think to a wide extent, most of the RPGs end up with the classic combos, don't they? Your more, typical melee tanky-ish type characters, and your melee high damage output dealers, and your ranged classes and your healers, right? It's the standard recipe. Bard class, yeah, yes, another classic. I've actually been, I can conclude that my game time is limited in the sense that what little time I have, I typically end up playing WoW with. But if I actually had more time in general to manage to play, I would have loved to get started on Baldur's Gate as well. So much to do, so much to play, so little time. Baldur's Gate, yeah, was Unreal 1 my favorite game? Yeah, I played the first two extensively. Still enjoy them to this day. I haven't played them since, but yeah. Okay, nice. Cool. I think any game where you have that level of immersion is just amazing. That's what you really want out of a game. Something that brings you something more than just, keeping you preoccupied. Spell hunt is a thing. Just stack increase spell damage, healing stuff, and go to town with arcane shot. Yeah. Want the spells to look more pretty. Yeah. That's important too, Sutella. Not just spells, but pretty spells. I want to bring out TBC, so yeah. Yeah, realistically we're talking early next year, aren't we? Yeah, sometime shortly. Maybe, at the earliest. Yeah, I was about to say, I think January, maybe. Ouch. Oh dear God. Die already. I she's gonna pull more. Yeah. Aha. Hopefully playing TBC, yeah. I mean, what else could you possibly be doing? I mean, we don't appreciate people who have lives on the side. That's not something we welcome, you know. You're expected to give full and utter dedication. Maybe we didn't stress that enough during recruitment. Lives and plans are not welcome. Might get some ads ready for her to level up jewel crafting or anything, but yeah. I've been impressive stuff. My strategy is to maybe at some point start acquiring some of the BOEs, you know, that are good for leveling purposes, just so I can like hoard them and then have something ready to use for once they release the class, so I can like she hits really hard. Yeah, so I have like a stash of things that I can, you know, recurringly just upgrade along the way to that was one that nearly cost me my life and everything else. Oh yeah, that too. I've been contemplating the same, making sure to save up a name. Reserve it while you can. And you know, that's the hardest part of the game, so you probably should get started on that fairly soon. You know, because one thing is the fact that you've identified it, but you know, between now and then it could easily be several weeks, right? Yeah. Pumping refined deep rock salt and mooncloth. Okay, cool. Well, you always were the strategist in terms of. And I assume that you're also where you are. Are you still preparing to start offloading your winter squid or summer squid, whichever it was? Yeah, true. Spooky. Most done with that. 8 stacks left. Okay. Yeah. We need to. We'll have to bump it. No. We can consider swapping up, you know, changing up things on the Discord and simply make it a requirement for getting access to the Discord server that you fill in the bio. So it's like your admission test. Write an essay. Don't go there. Yeah. So Spooky can be nosy, yeah. Just, or maybe it's just like yeah, oh yeah, that is really old school, you know, completely old school. I remember having to fill out those back in the day, Like even just for social guilds and things, you were always, how old are you? What do you do? What classes do you know? How long have you played? Oh, you always got directed? Aw. You poor thing. I mean, you know, it feels like total another rejection, right? Well, I still don't worry about it. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just pretending. Besides those maps, I'm only hoarding hit scope materials for TBC. Ah, okay, yeah. I could have sworn it was on the menu map a second ago. Game's messing with me. At least I can mine those. Lousy drop rate still in TBC, but hopefully less bots. Yeah. Yes. And the hit remains good. The scope remains good for a long time. So that's you know, that's just awesome. I'm actually, you know, fairly decently color coded at the moment, right? I'm rocking the reddish theme, goes well with the Guild Tabard, but of course it won't necessarily last long. Inadvertent transmog. Only thing is it gets a serious downgrade as we move from hit rating. Yeah, percentage hit rating. Yeah, yes. Fair enough. Beggars can't be choosy, I guess, but still. Okay, so we're off to now? We are off to. Oops, wrong one. Might as well go. See here. Raptors and Syndicate members. It's living on the, you know, living on the plains of Azeroth in general is dangerous stuff, right? You know, everywhere you go as a mob, you always just expect to be pounced, you know, and then, you know, somebody kills you off because they need your eyes, and then to you as the player's biggest surprise, you kill a raptor who then has no eyes left for some reason. You maim it to such a wide extent that none of its eyes survive the impact, you know. And so you have to kill even more. It's really bad for evolution, you know. It's like bordering on extinction of race. Don't poke it with your claws. Yeah. I guess that applies. I'm doing it wrong. Weapon skill items, big downgrade. True aim gauntlets. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but the conversion into ratings really does have a significant impact on, you know, everything when it comes to itemization.
I'm out of range. Not enough energy.
Many changes, yeah. You know, I think it's especially going into TPC and then carrying on over into Wrath, the amount of differentiation that the new itemization creates is good, because it means that there's a wider spread of items that different classes benefit from. You know, you start to diversify a little bit more, right? Everybody doesn't have the same cookie cutter biss across, you know, everything from rogues and warriors and whatnot. You start to see more of the diversification, which was good, because most items have one aspect or another of stats that then means that there's a class that has the predominant use, which I think was good. So, you know, and then it comes, especially for Wrath, I used to main Red Pala, and depending on which sort of religion you followed, end game Red Paladins either used a few leather pieces because they had crit rating, or you went with the plate items which had haste rating. And so you ended up having two different like religions amongst Red Paladins, the ones who sort of swore to one versus the other. And that gave a good spread because everybody wasn't competing for the same items, and at the same time there was a lot of theory crafting going on in terms of who then had the upper hand, you know, and it really was benchmarking amongst the very top players of who could then output more. Many gear has Aggie downgraded and placed with attack power. Yeah. And you know, even right now, as far as I know, itemization for feral druids is that you get a better item conversion rate on strength to attack power compared to later, because later on, if I remember correctly, strength for the cat spec is replaced with agility. So bears benefit more from the strength, but cats benefit more from the Aggie. I mean, even more based on the main stat to attack power conversion. So all of a sudden, you know, you see an even bigger sort of differentiation. Oh, how many times can they dodge and miss in a row? Come on. It's rough going. My God. It surprises me how I get by with half a brain. I mean, I sit down to eat so I can get the food buff, and then before 10 seconds have passed, I've forgotten what I was doing, so I get up and move on. That's well played. That is well played. Well, I'll try again. Hands off the keyboard. Don't touch anything. Hey, we made it. Gonna be sad to see aim shot move to its intended purpose. Yeah. I mean, all of a sudden, especially end game hunter spec is just steady shot, steady shot, steady shot. Nope, we didn't make it. Come on. Coming along slowly but surely. Yeah, though at least there'll be some variation in the rotation, yeah. But I also think that you can say my main point of reference is, of course, the old, the older version of the game, of the code. So what used to work was that, you know, you had a macro for steady shot, which was built to make sure you didn't clip your auto shots, and that's not a thing anymore as far as I remember, because it's scripted differently. So I'm sure that there's gonna be some things that will look completely different. I mean, I'm sure if I haven't ever looked into it, but I'm sure that if I started looking into exactly how they did it last go around through the classic Wrath, it would, or classic TBC, it would sort of show itself. You'll just have to use a swing timer. Yeah, okay, yeah. Like you do now with multi-named. Should tool is slow enough for rotation, slow when we doing more clipped rotation. Okay, yeah. Alright then. Okay, well, we're like halfway to the actual next quest, but at least we're making decent headway on the Raptor Eyes. So, having killed, well, we pulled a friend. Having killed, okay, bad one to do statistics on. What's the wrong type? Having killed, no, that's still the same one. It's about to say having killed 20 raptors, we've managed to get 6 eyes. So it's tough. So instead of that auto-aimed multi thing, we get to do steady, auto, pop, rapid fire, and we can switch to auto, steady, auto, steady. Yeah, fair enough, yeah. Yeah, you know, it's just jam-packed excitement all the way around. Hang on, kids, because it's about to get crazy, and then you just have 2 buttons. Yeah. Do the French rotation even? Is that an actual thing? The French rotation? I really wish I had a Ferocious Bite by now. Some people call it French. Okay, yeah. Fair enough. Time for the stealthy. I was about to say stealthy fuckers, but it's just when you sneak around and then you're sneaking and or you're stealthing and they're stealthing and then you sort of walk past each other and then just two bloodstone damage. At least they're a decent drop. And then there was a stealthy one. Bastards. Come on. I'll have to give it some serious thought at some point as to why it's called the French rotation. Much to learn once TBC comes out around, so I'm kind of done with my character. I've even seen myself looking at the challenge and seeing what kind of stuff I can do if I spend points like this. Yeah, okay, fair enough, yeah. Are you sticking with your hunter, Vesutilla? Hunter main for life. No, that's right. You talked, or at least previously you talked about Druid. It's my only 60th, so I'll continue with Druid. Was supposed to be mammals. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, you have a standpoint until you do something different, right? So things can change. Here we go, another one. Yeah. Bloody shite. let's see. Well, I mean, I've also been. I'm in that spot where I've concluded at least that I want to swap main, but you can say based on when they release the class versus when the gates to the Dark Portal open, it might be that there's not enough time that I could specifically manage to level up fully to 60. And so if I don't manage to level up to 60 in advance, do I then stay on the course of leveling the new character first, or do I swap back to Hunter so that I effectively level something to 60 so I, can contribute to like groups and things and helping others do rep and stuff. So I'm sort of undecided if I should just commit and say, maybe I'll be I don't know, let's say a week behind or something. Right, a week I'll be. But yeah, so I'm also undecided on what I'm going to do in that sense. We'll try and utilize the pre-patch. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think there's somebody at the door. 1 second, I'll be right back. It's just the teenager coming home, apparently. I'm inclined to think that I will be swapping over to Paladin once it's out and then, sticking with it. I mean, there's not a lot of point in me starting by leveling the Hunter when I know it's not the character that I will be maining anyway. I mean, I might as well fully commit and, say, okay, this is the intended target anyway. And then it takes a while longer. I mean, I'm not expecting to hit any wall first as well, so to be perfectly honest, I might smite my... Yeah, yes. That's also been a consideration of mine, yeah. Definitely. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they know that it's a good time to monetize things, right? Because there's always people who are in that same predicament. So they know that there's the incentive for people to want to catch up. It's money. Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, and I can totally understand it. There's nothing there. Again, I would say you're in a position where you as a company know that your demographic audience are to a wide extent people with, a job, and the calculus of people can afford to pay, right? So make sure it's just reasonably priced, and then you're good. Probably on the Druid I should be able to get it. 60 might boost. Okay, yeah. Yes. Fair enough. I mean, that's another thing, if you know that, okay, the Druid could make its way there on your own, or the effective gain, because it's 44 even now, is not big enough versus one that's level 1. So it can also be the whole, okay, what does it make most sense? It makes the most sense to boost the level 1 character, or a very low level, because you get more effect out of it, right? I don't know. Also, I'd say, I think you get to that point where, despite the fact that I'm enjoying leveling because there's no other option. It's not that the experience of leveling in itself is just so pleasurable that I would want to do it 10 times over if I didn't have to, At some point on, it just is a necessity. And when you then have the opportunity to some extent to skip, then I think it's also a part of the the consideration. Not too much point to boost 44 to 58, yeah. Warlock is 20, Shammy, yeah, one of those. Makes sense. So the other one, Jesus Christ. Oh. Well played. I mean, that was a true PvP moment, right? Where the Alliance basically just waits until you're as low as humanly possibly and then just ambushes you and gets the honor kill. I was calculating, I was assessing if I needed to heal because I thought, okay, one has run away and the other is so low. And then the other one showed up. Short-term goal would be to get Shaman... Okay, I can't. I was trying to get Shaman to 35 for Alchemy Chance. Yeah. Oh well. You live and you learn. Well, I didn't live, but... Bullocks. Well... I mean, on the other hand, if I were an NPC, that's the way I would have played the same encounter, right? You've seen all the other NPCs just get wiped out by this druid, right? So you time your attacks. You sort of say, okay, I'm going to wait for him to be preoccupied killing a few of my colleagues, and then I'll jump him. I'll get the killing blow. Maybe I'll get an NPC level. I'll be level 2. I'll be that much harder to kill. It's a strategy, right? I mean, it's tough. It's tough being in a game where you're not the main character, right? It's uphill all the way. Every day. It's like what was that movie with Tom Cruise where he keeps where he's a soldier who keeps like dying and resurrecting. It's a Groundhog Day in World of Warcraft. Every time you die, you get 5-minute break, and then you resurrect again, right? And regardless of what you do, you're gonna get killed again later today. It must be depressing. When the thing you look up to the most, is like, man, I wish I were a main character, right? Instead, I'm just a syndicate highwayman. That's gotta be tough. I mean, you can only take so much beating before it starts to, wear you down. Or you sort of you come under the attention of like an AoE mage, and the only thing you hope is that his blizzard doesn't catch you, and involuntarily pulls you into the aggro radius. You're like, come on, I hope he misaligns it. I might actually make it. Hey, that's a familiar name, isn't it? Because it's... Isn't it just, wasn't it one of Takana's characters? Yeah, exactly. I figured as much. I thought I recognized it. Well, I guess now that the mage is done, he needs a new project anyway, so... Okay. Alrighty, let's see here. They're mocking me. You know, the game is just like, hey man, you're sort of falling slightly behind on your herbalism. Watch some phone go to flame space up. Okay, I mean, that is commitment. Would you die already? Come on, man. No, don't. Might have missed something. You didn't miss anything. Okay, two more eyes. And then still two more eyes. We actually managed to sneak up on something. Okay, one more. We got this. Nope, we don't, because we're out of mana. Minor detail. Come on, come on. So here's a tricky question. Sometimes when you're, looking to collect a specific quest object, is it actually the case that the last one always feels like it takes longer than the first? In this case, we've already collected 9. Does it only feel like the last one takes longer because you're more attentive because it's the last one? Or do you think that it's just like you don't pay attention to the first 8 or 9 of them because it's just another one in a series of them? Is there just a psychological effect to the fact that that you're close, and then the last one, it feels like it's evading you even more than the others did? Or is there actually a truth to it? Because on some occasions it feels like you're struggling even more with the last one, where you're like, this is not just coincidence. For you, it's the first and the last? Yeah. Yeah, I think it. I think there's some truth to it. I think it's because you're aware of it on another level. You got it. I'll see you soon. Have fun. Yeah. Take care, man. I'll be back. I'll be here again tomorrow if you're in the area. There we go. Keep an eye out for Nemor the Slayer. Okay. Oh. Nope. I thought for a second it was Nemor the Slayer, but it wasn't. Witherbark Village. I think I might actually be heading back to Hammerfall and maybe calling it early today. I've got a few things I should be taking care of. Might be that I'll consider stopping a bit earlier than expected. But I will be back tomorrow then. And Friday probably. I actually do have... I had a few days saved off that I needed to take before they reset our vacation year, which is like September 1st. So any vacation you haven't taken basically just gets wiped out. So I was like, might as well take those days off now while time's there. So that's why I'm all of a sudden available. Yeah. All of a sudden it feels like my travel form is slow. Not sure why. Sometimes when I sort of swap into travel form, it actually feels like I'm going somewhere fast. And then sometimes it just feels sluggish. Maybe it's just the rain. Depressing Azeroth weather. Just pulling me down. Let's see, everything else is effectively worth saving. Okay, so I am going to call it for now. Jump off, do a few other things. Unexpected, but still, yeah. So I think I'll be jumping off now, guys and gals. It was a true pleasure once again. Great to see you all, and I plan to be back tomorrow. So if you're in the area, it's always a pleasure to have you come hang out. And if not, then I'll see you another time. But either way, it was truly good entertainment. I think, you know, for me, the majority of the entertainment comes from simply having you guys chatting and hanging out. So despite the lack of impressive gameplay, it still is an absolute enjoyment being here. So take care. See you later. Have a great day. And maybe we'll see each other again tomorrow. Alrighty. Take care.
Fun things. Unless that is the fun things. Oh.